Hello YouTube, Moose Cow here with a recap of round 6. But before I get to that, let me wrap up China's turn for round 6. The National Protection War that China had right before they got into World War One. It's a very interesting civil war because there's a lot of limited information that I can even find online about it. There's not. It was overall like a 6-month give or take war. It was very brief, and it's hard to get a lot of it's not as there's not as much information about that's readily available online about it as much as like other civil wars and stuff like that. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Researching this has been interesting to say the least. But it basically led to, it was such a crazy debacle, it led to the warlord era right afterwards. I am the Republic of China playing against the Empire of China. That's what we're officially changing the names to. I think Madman accidentally called himself the Republic of China. No, it is the Empire of China is the North. That was the pro-Allied side. They had the Allied support. And then the South was the Republic of China. And essentially the whole war started because their president, I forget his name, Yaun something or another, he decided he was very unpopular. He was growing very corrupt. There was actually a conflict right before, a small conflict to try and get rid of him right before the National Protection War. So this basically was like a 2-part process, more or less, you know. Anyway, he decided, an unpopular president decided, I'm going to go ahead and crown myself emperor. And the Yunnan specifically, and then a domino effect of other provinces in China were like, no, we're quite happy with this republic thing going on, right? It's so funny because it just led to it was completely unnecessary, and it was only because this guy wanted to satisfy his own ego, more or less. And then he abdicated after a lot of political unrest at home in Peking, and he abdicated, returned to being president. The war continued because they're like, no, he needs to go. And then he died, and the fighting still continued for a little bit, and then it wrapped up or whatever. But yeah, it was just completely pointless. His health plummeted, and he died. So it was just the total unrest, just a complete disaster. Anyway, here we go. So I got 1 battle to do. I got 7 IPCs to spend. I'm going to save one of them. I'm going to buy 2 infantry. We're going to do 1 battle. This he's got me surrounded. This is contested. This is contested. So I'm going to move this cavalry into here, into Hope, and just attack that 1 infantry. And I'm going to leave this guy put in Yunnan, and see what happens there. He has 1 defending 3. I have 3 artillery bumping up 3 infantry, and a cavalry and an infantry at 2. So here we go. Here we go. Just need 1 hit. Well, I got it. Yep. 3 hits. Okay. He returns fire, and he gets a hit. Okay, so that's why I brought the cavalry in there. So cavalry is gone. He's gone. And that is back in my control. As you'll see, Hope is very critical because it touches everything, hence why he surrounded me more or less afterwards. And then my 2 new infantry, they're going to go in the 1 territory that I controlled at the start of my turn. They're both going to go down in Hainan, which, as you can see, is a walk-on. So I have 1 infantry left over, 1 IPC left over. I'm now at 2 on the tracker, meaning I have a total of 3 IPCs for next turn. Joy. Okay. All right, and that does it for the National Protection War. Here is the Boneyard dish. Not as eventful as the last one, but there's a lot of chips in there. There's a lot of hype. There is a large amount of units in here, a large amount of Allied units, and Germans. Greece was taken out. That's what those guys are, and all that jazz. So, anyway, on with what happened. Austria-Hungary got a, let's see, they have a military base here, and they started building units here. They attacked Greece with heavy casualties. Greece got 4 hits against them. They went in heavy against Greece, but not with enough infantry, so they had to lose 2 infantry and 2 artillery to take out 3 infantry, 1 artillery, and then Crete then flips to the Allies. Because of that, Crete is another Greek territory. So the Italians get a island and a infantry out of it, which, as you can see, he was brought over to Egypt on Italy's turn. But anyway, okay, let's see. So yeah, they built Austria-Hungary built a sub, a whole bunch of ground units, shucked things around this way. They attacked Crimea again, and as you can see, the Russians came and took that back because there was like 2 infantry there. They knocked out the 2 infantry, then the Russians come, tit for tat kind of thing going on over there. Moved units up from Romania up to Galicia. Mobilized units in Austria, mobilized a couple of infantry in Bulgaria, and yeah, basically about it. All this stuff right here in this task force marker is right here in Dalmatia, and as you can see, the Austrians have 1 fighter, 2 fighter, 3 fighters, but they got a good little bit of flexibility there. They've come in here and helped out the Austrians, or the Austrians have come in here to help out the Ottomans. So we got units here in the Anatolia Peninsula and all that, and yeah, it basically summarizes up Austria-Hungary. Russia, like I said, came in and knocked Crimea back out, so they got a whole bunch of artillery here, but they only have 1 infantry here. And the Russians just knocked out the German that was in Karelia. Built more and more fighters. I don't know if I can keep up with it, but all of this huge horde is in here in Karelia. So as a result of that, and then there's no more Far East units anymore because of the Trans-Siberian Rail. Everything's over here. So because of that, Germany had to pull back. I do not have enough cannon fodder in all this stuff here. There's not enough infantry there, but all that is backed up to Poland, kind of running away from it a little for the meantime, but they did have some, they did do a battle in Belarus to knock that out and get their national objective. And they got a guy in Lithuania here still too, but bulk of German forces are here in Poland. And then they also went in and there was 1 Russian infantry in Western Ukraine, and they sent a whole bunch of infantry that were in Poland right into there to clear that up. And you'll see on Austria-Hungary's turn why it did that. Then, sensing the impending doom of the invasion, Germany fortified in Belgium what they could. They attacked Lorraine and had mixed results. I'm gonna have to check my video because the Madman only had 1 infantry here, and he had 1 more artillery from that I had left on my map. So I'm gonna double check to make sure this artillery is supposed to be here. But anyway, Germany tried to take out Lorraine and failed to do so. They didn't get enough hits. And what else? Fortified Switzerland. Built units here, built units here, built units here. They have 2 Zeppelins again, so that's giving them some flexibility, and all that jazz. Then what else? The Germans came over from Togoland and contested Nigeria. This is the last German in Africa. The Italians managed to knock out the German infantry in Darfur. So they are just about kicked off the continent right now, the Central Powers. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, let me put this over here. So yeah, now we're at the top of round 7. Man, it's a doozy of a game. Okay. And then from there, we go on to France. France attacked Belgium. Did not get the amount of hits he wanted to, and lost a bunch in the process because I have trench works and minefields there, though I don't know how much good that'll do in the long run. I'm basically just trying to slow down as much. There's the inevitable push into here with the Americans, Britain, and France. Me still having to deal with Russia. This is a big problem, you know. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. And they took back Burgundy. They took back the province. And actually, I'm going to swap out, let's see, that guy for a ship. Still want those 3 paired with the machine gun. There. And those are French. I'll put them together. And yeah, pretty much that's about it right there for France. Also bringing out the French transport brought over some Canadian boys. And then after they attack on Belgium, Britain followed suit and did the same. Even though he didn't have enough threes, he came in with a lot of twos and lost quite a bit of units. But regardless, this is a lot of Allied units for me in Belgium. All I have left are my Air Force, 3 artillery, and 3 infantry with a machine gun. So even though I have reinforcements coming in, it is likely not going to be enough, but we'll see. Point at the job at this point is just to slow them down, but we'll see. And then Japan started sending units into Russia and bringing their units from the rest of the Pacific towards Qingdao. He's going to have to deal with that, because if he doesn't deal with that, then Central Powers still get a point if they control that territory still, for propaganda purposes. Basically, they still have a victory point if they have any of those territories or Trinidad left, which the Americans took over Trinidad, so no biggie there. Let's see. All right, then the Ottomans. Oh yeah, and Britain came in and attacked Arabia. They attacked Armenia, and actually were unable to take both of those territories. They also have a military. They got a minefield in their tech. Put that there with the military base in Egypt, and he also got improved sea mines, or naval mines rather, in the other territory here as well, sea zone as well. So, man, improved naval mines is a powerful tech, but when you don't want it, it stinks when you get it. And that happened to the Ottomans up here too. There's, Ottomans don't really want that tech, so because they already have it where it really matters, Anyway, although I suppose, if there were Russian sea units in here, this would be nice to have. But anyway, I digress. Let's see what else. So yeah, all of this here is in Egypt with these Italians, and before the Italians came into Darfur, the Britain tried to attack with 1 infantry against the German, and the German actually knocked him out there. So yeah, just the fighting continues everywhere in this game. But yeah, Madman had an unlucky role here in Armenia and a not great role here in Arabia, but then Italy came in and took that out. So actually Arabia is Italian controlled, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, let's see. That about does it. So the Ottoman Empire, sensing all this, just funneled what it could into Palestine, and started to rearrange things more or less. But yeah, the impending doom against the Ottoman Empire is approaching, especially with how they've been getting convoyed repeatedly. Because I can get convoyed up to 5 IPCs here. So this is 2, this is 3, so that stinks. And then I can get convoyed over here too if I take control of these territories. Granted, there's a national objective out of it, but yeah, no, it's tough for the Ottoman Empire. But I do have air supremacy over here at the very least, so I'm going to be a tough nut to crack. And I have a military base here as well, so we're in a unit build-off, just two infantry, 2 infantry, 2 infantry. That's basically what's going to happen until somebody's contested. And then, like I said, Italy did that stuff, took out Darfur. They walked into Tyrol and beefed up their army in Veneto more so, and just continued building units. The Americans, and then the British also took out the German territories of Gold Coast and Togoland. And then the Americans have been funneling their units in, came into province, reinforced Belgium, and are sending units over to the Far East as well. So action is happening everywhere in this game. It's a crazy game. It's not looking great for me, but I'm having a blast playing this. Currently, with the victory points, I am winning technically, but it's round 7. So we got 4 more rounds of action to do, and right now I have 3 minor cities. I have Sofia. I have Belgrade. I do not have the Empire Point anymore, actually. I'm at Empire Point for the Central Powers is at 78, and for the Allied Powers it's at 84, so they almost have it. The Allies have the Russian Revolution Point because the Russian Revolution hasn't happened. They also control the most Chinese territories. And I have the Pacific colonies for now, but I don't expect to keep that. The Allies have Africa. They also have favorable trade. Nobody has Western Front, and Mediterranean. I have a. I don't know. I had it for a split second because I had province for a moment. But yeah, no. So nobody has Mediterranean anymore, and I have the Balkans. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 points. He has 4. So I'm winning by 1 point, and I don't expect that will stay the same, but we'll see. And then, well, yeah, I think I said this. I have the Balkans. That's what that is. So yeah, Balkans, Belgrade, Sofia, 3 minor cities, and Pacific colonies, and they have, like I said, favorable trade, Russian Revolution, China, and Africa. So, whew, it's an exciting game. Excited to see what's what. You, of course, know what happened here in China. He got the die roll, so he went first and took out this territory, contested Yan'an, left my horde alone, which allowed me to just take that territory. And then you saw my turn. I don't have to spell it out. But anyway, yeah, that's it. So on to round 7, and I got to get planning with Austria-Hungary.